Whether you're the Doge father like Elon Musk or just a schlub like one of us, the best investment you can make for yourself is to go to www.NTTFGPOD.com and subscribe. I'm Rock.
And I'm Archie.
Well, our opinions, they might not matter to some, but...
What are you doing in there?
It's a podcast.
Immature, crass, trashy. And those are their good qualities. These poor schmucks are a couple of IQ points away from eating paste. But when it comes to music, sports, and comedy, well, that's all they know. You're listening to
Not These Two Fucking Guys.
Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
Yo, have you watched any of the WWE biography on A&E yet?
Not yet, but I'm meaning to. I heard the Stone Cold one was dope.
It was really, really good, right? Stone Cold was really good. One of my faves of all the times.
True. I just want to let you know you're very chipper for a Monday.
They did one for Booker T, which aired tonight, I believe, but haven't watched it. I taped it.
Okay.
I taped it. Show my age. I taped it.
You taped it.
I know they did Roddy Piper.
Awesome.
Very fucking good. Very good, right?
Okay.
And then my favorite wrestler of all the times.
Okay, all the times.
Macho Man. Ooh, yeah. Randy Savage.
Elizabeth, listen very much here. I just want to tell you, without everybody out there,
Dude, you fucking, that's fantastic, actually.
I'm gonna come down there and I'm gonna rip you up here.
Hey, what's your favorite cured meat beef jerky snack?
Step into a Slim Jim,
Dude, so this is the only one. They did a complete fucking hatchet job on him.
Why?
Dude, they fucking like everyone else was like, you know, facts, blah blah blah, little fluff pieces here and there. Dude, they went in on Macho Man, and I don't know why.
Like hard? Like they went in the
Yeah.
paint?
So I'll tell you this, right? So he had an ex-girlfriend in wrestling. Her name was Gorgeous George.
Okay.
God, I can't think of her fucking first name. Last name was Bellers, right? So you know who was married to her. I want to say, I don't know if it was before or after, but your boy Doyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was after then.
Really?
But like she was on there and she was like his girlfriend, his manager, and she was saying how like he was like very possessive and had cameras in the house and like fucking like, or he hid cameras in her house.
Really?
Yeah, they were talking about a lot of like drug abuse and this and that. Now again, if you're doing a documentary on 80s, 90s wrestlers, yeah, there's probably a lot of shit you could put in there.
Oh, come on.
Shit that's kept in the locker room, right? As Donald John would say, locker room talk.
Correct.
Dude, they like let it all out, like as if he was like and didn't talk about like the good shit he did, like doing stuff for like underprivileged kids and like all that shit. And they kind of made him sound like a little bit of a problem. Now, why would they do that, would you ask?
That's my question.
Here's the answer: we don't know. I know that him and Vince had a little bit of a tiff,
A little bit of a falling out, yeah.
or a tisk, as one of my friends would say. And he left because Vince wanted him not to wrestle anymore, be on the desk, be an announcer, blah blah blah. And he felt like he was still able to wrestle, so he signed with WCW, lucrative contract. And Vince did all like the negative publicity against him, saying like him and Hulk Hogan were old, and they made like jokes, like parodies, blah blah blah. That's like one thing. Maybe Vince felt he left him hanging.
Yeah.
The other prevailing theory is that there's a rumor, unjustified, unsubstantiated, a rumor. Macho Man had a how do you say this?
He had an affair, man.
He had potentially, allegedly, a little tryst with Ms. Stephanie McMahon. Now, I want to say she was very young, 18-ish. Right. But it's never been substantiated. But that's the rumor of why they think Macho Man always, even he left for WCW. Vince didn't re-sign him. He wasn't invited, welcomed back when all the other wrestlers came back, like Hogan, all the guys, and he wasn't inducted into the Hall of Fame up until a couple years ago, and they thought that was the issue. But I thought this was like water under the bridge, and all shit was good, and he got this documentary showed more of the bad side, I think.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch this. I mean, obviously these wrestlers have good and bad sides, and they like to portray maybe a little bit more of the good side, right, on a biography. But then sometimes, that 30 for 30 Ric Flair one,
yeah,
really good, and you saw a lot of his downside. I'm gonna have to check this out for myself. And
the Macho Man though did a lot for underprivileged kids, the tomorrow's children's fund, and that kind of stuff. That wasn't equally represented. His brother, your favorite wrestler of all time, Leaping Lenny Poffo.
Leaping Lenny Poffo, blast from the past.
He's in a documentary, and he kind of obviously states all the good shit that Macho Man did, but definitely worth watching.
He was no saint, though. Let's be honest. Wasn't there like a Brian Pillman documentary?
That was on Dark Side of the Ring, yeah.
And they showed a lot of Randy Savage's dark side, a lot of his dark side on that too, right?
Well, I mean, here's a rule of thumb. If the name of your program, or as my grandma would say, my stories, if the name of your story is Dark Side of the Ring, spoiler alert, they're gonna show you some. They're gonna show you some shit.
They're gonna show you some shit.
Oh, seriously, like they did all shit, like Benoit, fucking the uglier side, all the warts, as the kids say. They show you, but. Two good shows. Dark Side of the Ring I'm addicted to. And these A&E documentaries. Good stuff.
It just, from what I heard is just that there's if you watch the Stone Cold and you watch the Savage, it's just two completely
very different. Very different. Now, that being said, Stone Cold wasn't, into drugs, wasn't into steroids, wasn't into that just wasn't him. I'm sure if you dug deep, as you would anybody, you or myself, you'll hear stories. But by and large, he was always a upstanding citizen. Who do you think is bigger, Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold?
Physically or
no, in the pants. Fucking stupid.
Well, they called him Hulk Hogan's hog.
We grew up with Hulk Hogan, right?
I would still have to say Hulk Hogan, just because he is.
So, and I agree with you 100%.
He's still he's an icon. Stone
Cold brought wrestling back, and he was the hottest shit, and blah 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 blah. But if you talk to somebody who has no idea, never heard of wrestling, and you say, "Who have you heard of, Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold?" It's Hulk Hogan, right? Hulk Hogan is the fabric of wrestling, good, bad, or indifferent. The Hulkster. Now, what would Macho Man say to him right now?
Listen there, Terry. You're not doing the right thing, man.
Do you think? Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Didn't Hogan talk about Savage and Randy and Elizabeth's marriage?
Yeah. Now listen, Hulk Hogan,
in the documentary. I mean,
yeah, I love him, but he's a spinster. He fucking spins shit around, and he fucking listen. He's a pro wrestler. He's always fucking working you.
But let me tell you something, brother. Elizabeth came to our house, right? And my wife Linda, she set her up. She gave her a place to stay. And listen, God is my witness. I had no idea what was going on. Okay, Randy? Okay, Terry.
Yo, Rock.
My man, what's up?
Yo, I am so stoked that we get to talk some serious, down-to-earth music and motivational shit with this next guest, bro.
I know you are.
This man needs no introduction, but sure as hell he deserves one. He's a musician, an author, and a speaker, to name a few. And if you ever have happened to turn on the radio, I don't know, once in your life, you probably heard a song he performed drums on.
Yeah.
Please welcome to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast, the very talented Kenny Aronoff.
Nice intro, boys.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, I think the all-time record, and I got beat up in the back of a car going from New York up to Bearsville, Woodstock. It was 5 songs in a row that I was on, and it was starting to get stupid. It was like, I go like, oh my God, I'm on that one. They you are now. I said, yeah, it's Stevie Nicks. And they went, am I allowed to swear on this thing?
Yeah,
Not
you
these
can
two
say whatever
fucking
you
guys.
want.
And they went, fuck you aren't. And we got past that. And next song came on. Who knows? It might have been Blaze of Glory by Bon Jovi. They kept coming on. They happened to have the right radio station that played all the songs I was on.
Oh my God, dude! I'm
That's
talking
fantastic.
when I talked to Rocky, I said, "Yeah, we're getting Kenny on, and we're gazing over your discography," and we were like, this is stupid. It's not even. It's overwhelming. Like I'm like, I got it. I know that. Oh, it's on that album. It's like, you want to know what? I got to go get a sandwich.
I know what you mean. I mean, I was just trying to work. People hire me. But it's not just that. It's the variety. The drummer who plays on the Highwaymen record, which is Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, Waylon Jennings, doesn't usually get asked to do a Smashing Pumpkins tour. Right?
Oh my God!
Come on, man! And at the peak of they were the biggest alternative band at the time. They had just done Gish, Siamese Dream, and Melancholy. Mm-hmm. Melancholy sold 8 million records, double CDs, so technically it's 16 million. I mean, it's just bizarre. I feel very fortunate, very, very fortunate.
Well, I have been seeing your face for years, whether it's either either at a show or it's a video or it's a music event or whatever it may be. And then finally, I said I had enough. I see him on a trailer for a movie called Hired Gun.
Oh, yeah.
And like Hired Gun came out in like 16, so this might have been 15, 14. I said, I've been seeing this guy everywhere. I need to look him up. After I looked you up, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, he's the fucking man. I waited so long for this movie to come out. I get my wife. We get to the movie theater. Your part came up. I think his name was DeVito, the guy from Billy Joel's band, and all these people. And I am just in awe. And Rocky and I are like hometown musicians. We in a band, but just to see the behind the scenes of what it takes for someone to be a hired gun, I fucking loved every second of it.
Well, and it's really, really well done. I mean, it's badass. There's an aspect. It couldn't, when you make a movie like that, more shit's cut out than you can possibly, because it's just, you try to make a movie, and there's a certain way to make a movie. It's got to have a little. It's just like writing a book, which I found out when I wrote my autobiography. Holy shit! It's not. I'm leaving out stories about me and Cameron Diaz because
Didn't make the cut, Cameron. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I should have made the cut because basically it wasn't what I did with her. It's what I didn't even ask her to do because I've always put my career ahead of everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, at 2 a.m, when a girl like that is sitting on your lap with her arms around you and saying, man, I heard what you said to Jimmy and it was not, I mean, you go like, I mean, dude, I would normally be hitting on that so hard. But I didn't. I was going like, you got to get up at like 10 o'clock in the morning and play 13 hours with Tony Iommi from Sabbath and Billy Corgan. Those are brutal sessions. I can't be up all night doing all kinds of shit. It would be great, but I would have blown my session. So but the thing is that they didn't get into was, it's one thing to become successful in one band. It's another thing to be successful over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's a whole different type of success. That's somebody who adapts or dies. I'm a guy who adapts or I die, and I'm not going to die. You know, I got this phrase that goes, I'll never be as great as I want to be, but I'm damn willing to spend the rest of my life trying to be as great as I can be. That's the human
awesome.
condition, man. That's like a running back. Do the running backs get touchdowns every time they get the ball? Hell no. But they keep trying their entire season. No, entire career. They keep trying. It's end zone, end zone, end zone. And, you know, to go one step further, which I say in my book, man, I don't believe in everybody gets a trophy, and I don't believe in coddling. If you lose, you work harder.
Yep.
Just because you lose, you don't get you don't get your hand held and patted on the head. No, that doesn't build character. That doesn't build competition. That doesn't build. You know, the job is you have to be able to learn to survive on your own. You have to be able to go through life with no validation, just self-validation. When you can do that, then you become the king of your own realm, your own domain. And when you're the king in the realm of your own domain, you can make some heavy decisions that not only benefit you, but all the people around you. Whether you're in a band or in a sports team or in a relationship. I mean, this is the heavy shit that I wanted in the movie. But that's okay, because they're going to do, eventually I'm going to have a documentary on me and all this shit. This is the tip of the iceberg.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
So obviously, besides being an amazing musician, what do you think sets you apart that people just keep, you know, clamoring for you and wanting you to play on their stuff? Like, keep coming back. We need Kenny. We need Kenny.
That's a great question, Rocco, because, you know, I started asking myself that because I'm like, well, I'm not as good as that guy, and I'm not as good as that guy, and why am I getting these calls? And, like, I mean, they're getting calls too, but, like, so it took me a while to figure it out, but one of the main things is what I call the 3 C's.
Okay.
First one is, let's just take an example, Elton John. Oh my God, I'm going to do a session with Elton John. I'm freaking out. But I have to go in there immediately, go right to him and start connecting. And then I can't sit there, I mean, because it's good for the both of us. Connecting, then I start communicating, the next C. And now we can collaborate because we have a relationship. When I did the Kennedy Center honors for 7 years, you know, Dave Grohl would walk in, then Don Henley, then Springsteen, then Sting, then Steven Tyler, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, Chris Cornell. I mean, it's just endless. I would get off the drums purposely because I finally knew what this was all about. And go up and say, hey, man, how you doing? So that, look, at when they walk in, they're just as nervous, man, as we are, because they're looking at a bunch of musicians. We're the baddest ass mofos on the planet. And they know they're walking in. It's not their band. It's not their stage. It's not their tour bus. It's not their plane. They're in somebody else's house. I mean, Steven Tyler was like, wow, he was like, holy shit, because we both were honoring Paul McCartney. And Steven and I were like, you know, like, God, I mean, it humbles everybody.
Yeah.
But so when I go up to them, now, and I know everybody pretty much. I didn't know Lady Gaga or Bruno Mars, but everybody else I pretty much know. You know, it just makes it easier for everybody. So then when we start rehearsing, they turn around and look at me, and it's just, see what I'm saying? Connect, communicate, collaborate. So I think that what Don Was said, big time producer, if people don't know who he is, what Don was saying was like, I hire Kenny because he saves my sessions. He motivates the room. If I was like, that's like with these. That's why Tampa, they get Tom Brady. He's a great player, but he's not just a great player. He's got the greatest vibe and his presence and team player, and he hands the trophy to the other guys. He is badass. Everybody reveres him, but it's not just because how he plays. It's because he really cares about the other people. And this brings up something I talk about called co-elevation. Co-elevation is, and this is probably why I get hired, is I want the other people in that room making a record to do a great job. I really care that. I want to care that they do a great job, because just because I play good doesn't mean the song's going to make it on the record. We all have to be great.
Yeah.
So the song gets on the record. So it's not like, well, I did my part. Fuck that, man. That's not where it's at. I need you to do a good job. You got to do a good job so that we can be great together. And I want you to care about me, and I want to care about you. That's co-elevation. That's the ultimate version of teamwork. And that's some of the reason why I get called back.
Yeah.
Called back, you know.
So you're like a light in the room.
Yeah.
And people feel your vibe. I mean, from interviews, I hear people say like the guy's got so much energy.
Oh yeah, I do.
And you're full of you're optimistic is a good word.
Yeah.
You know, and not only can you fucking your instrument inside and out, but you can just you're a good dude. He's a good dude.
You know, I mean, Winston Churchill, part of his quote was an optimist sees the opportunity from every difficulty, not like the pessimist who sees the difficulty in every opportunity. You see the opportunity in every difficulty. Last night, I'm preparing for a big speech I'm going to film on Saturday, and it'll be presented on Sunday. And, I've got Pro Tools here, and I've got, in the other room, I've got 4 TV monitors. It's like a TV station.
Yeah.
And, anyway, I wanted to create a different playlist because I've given a teamwork speech to these guys before, and I came up with a whole new one. But only in the last week, which usually I spend a month on these things. But anyway, my point is Digital Performer, where I have my music on another computer, said, "Oh, you have to upgrade to the new version right now." And I went, "Oh shit! All right, well I did it. Oh my God, hell broke loose." So I couldn't do. I had to wait until today to get tech support because it was anyway. My point is, the old Kenny would have gone, shit, and gone nuts, and now the new Kenny's like, dude, it's just another like playing football. Oh my God, I didn't expect 5 guys coming down that side. You adjust, you adapt. I went, all right, I'm going to work on all this other stuff I have to do, like the deck, with all the pictures and the movies, and then, I started rehearsing, and I worked till 2 a.m. There was plenty to do. Instead of getting bummed out, I took it as an opportunity.
Yeah, good.
That's what I'm saying.
There's listen, we could go hours of your fucking stories and who you played with. Just one thing that just interests me is that the Kennedy honors, like that you mentioned before. I'm a huge Springsteen fan. Not only him, but McCartney. I mean, he has to be. He's got to be a fucking huge influence on you, bro. Can you give us a little insight of that of a couple of those performances?
Well, the Kennedy Center Honors, you're absolutely right. It is the Super Bowl. There's nothing like it. First of all, the building is like. It'd be like it's like the New York Met or something, or like Lincoln Center. I mean, it's just, but it's big, it's glamorous, and the people who come are like movie stars and celebrities like that, and then also politicians. That's what George Stevens was great at. He could kind of fuse the two together. So, and like you said, you're honoring Paul McCartney. He's up there watching you play. And then when we honored Zeppelin, they're all up there. But John Bonham. And then the first one was The Who. There's Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend. I'm like, oh my God.
The Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I mean, it was and then George Jones, I'm honoring him. And then I'm, Tom Hanks, and then, I mean, it's just one thing after another. And then we're honoring Sting, and Sting's up there. When we honored Springsteen, he's up there. And I'm playing with Springsteen like 3 or 4 times, and, and Sting, and oh my God, it's just, and, all right, so how it works is, I don't even get the songs until a week before. So what I do is I write. I'm a very anal chart writer. I don't my charts on here. They're in the other room. I mean, I'm telling you, it looks like Chinese. The whole page is black. So I write everything out. So I write out what's on the record, but most likely they're not going to play it. So I go like, Sting, how does he play these songs now? So I go look on YouTube, and I write a chart of that, the latest version. But then I went, but he's not playing these songs. But Bruno Mars, let's see, I check him out. Oh, he plays the Police songs. So I write a chart kind of the way he plays them.
Oh my
that
God.
Kind of thing. And then Lady Gaga, she's doing, a Sting song from a solo record. Is she going to do it like he did it? I don't know. I write it out. We get there on a Thursday. Friday morning, I go to right there early, make sure the drum set in the rehearsal room's right, make sure the drum set on stage is right. So I need about an hour and a half for that. Then I go down and I'm waiting for the musical director to hand us the charts. His charts are different from mine. And I'm waiting. Tell me what the first song is. He tells me, and I'm going, I take my chart out, I look at his, I start moving letter A over here, letter B. I'm like, oh my God, he's not even doing the third chorus. Cross that out, making all these adjustments. Then we start rehearsing. Then he changes the tempo. Then he might change the feel. Then we go through all 7 songs. Then we have lunch, and then the artists come. Then we run through them again, make all these changes again. Mm-hmm. That night, when I get home to the hotel room, I have to rewrite all my charts.
Yeah.
Next day we do a camera block, and now I'm get the script of the show because I'm going to be counting off a lot of these songs. I want to know which direction each artist is coming on. When do I count off? Do I count off? Is somebody going to be talking? Are they going to read a teleprompter? I have to know everything. Do I give the MD the tempo? Is he going to give me the tempo and I count off? All kinds of stuff. I talk to the stage manager, the producer. I'm basically involved with the MD running that segment, and I got all these notes written down, and when we were honoring Bruce Springsteen, Sting came up to me because he was the last guy doing the rising, curtains down. He says, "Hey Kenny, on the third verse, hey, I think maybe play a little hi-hat to keep time because he sings kind of all over." Da 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 da. It's tempos there, but so I'm doing that because it's just piano and him. That way the band knows when to come in. Stuff like that. But when he told me that, I went, "Don't fuck up!" I made a big, dude, don't mess this up. But I'll tell you some inside stuff. So, all right, when we did honoring Sting, I'm playing like Stuart Copeland, then I'm playing like Vinnie Colaiuta with Lady Gaga doing If I've Ever Lose Thy Faith. Yeah. And, it's just amazing. So we get done with it, and I'm going up to this private after-show party, and I walk up, and there's Tom Hanks holding court with Spielberg, Herbie Hancock, Bruce Springsteen, Sting, and Tom loves me because I did that movie, That Thing You Do.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Kenny, I knew you. Oh, man, I told Rita." Meanwhile, Springsteen, Spielberg all turn around going like, "Wow, what is Tom excited?" All of a sudden, Sting comes flying at me, hugs me, and kisses me and goes, "You killed it, Kenny. You killed it. You crushed it."
That must feel so fucking
God,
good.
can you imagine? Oh, my God. Forget about it.
And that's where you cross over the end zone.
Exactly. Oh, my God. I'm the type of guy, though, as soon as I get a touchdown, I'm like, "Can I have the ball? I want to do this again." Dude, that's so the Kennedy. Or I'm hanging out in the bar. They have strict drinking laws in Washington. Like at 1:00, that's it, no liquor. And I'm like, we don't even get back to the hotel till like about 1:45. Yeah. So I go to the bartender. "Look, can I get it? Come on, I'm with Kid Rock. I'm going up to his room. Can I get a bottle of wine?" No. I said, "Really? If I gave you $1,000, $1,000, would you give me?" "No." I'm like, "God, you guys are weenies." So Kid goes, "Go up to my room. Jamie Johnson's up there. He's got some of his moonshine up there." I go up to his room, and Forrest Whitaker, the actor's up there with his daughter. I'm like, "Wow, this is awesome. Amazing." Yeah. And we'll watch. Jamie's on the floor teaching his daughter, Forrest Whitaker's daughter, a song on guitar. And then me and Kid Rock end up on the balcony. It's cold as hell. It's like almost winter. We're drinking moonshine, and we're talking about how much we love Bob Seger, because I toured with Bob Seger, and I played on a couple of his records. But, Kid Rock is from Detroit. Everybody bows to Bob Seger.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable. I could probably call Kid right now. I got his number. He's the coolest, man. He's the coolest.
Yeah, we're big fans of his as well.
Dave Grohl too, man. Dave is great. Dave just came out with a thing with Mick Jagger on YouTube, and I texted him. I said, "Dude, you look great. Oh my God, you look great." He texts me back. He says, That was fun.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger.
can
I mean,
imagine.
I recorded with him.
Jesus Christ, Kenny.
I know. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. I mean, the great. Now, this wasn't the Kennedy Center Honors, but this was with Bill Clinton. I'm at the Ford Theater. And that's when Lincoln got shot. It's really small.
Yeah.
So the first year I did it was with Bon Jovi, and Bon Jovi said, "Hey, you want to go up and sit with Kennedy? Not Kennedy. Where
Clinton.
No, Clinton. What's his name got shot? Abe Lincoln.
Abraham
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Did I say Clinton? Anyway, it's Abe Lincoln got shot at the Ford Theater. God, stupid. So he says, they don't let people, it's Bon Jovi. I mean, they let him up. I'm sitting there where he got shot and looking at it. See, I'm right there in the balcony. I mean, it's very close to the stage. Anyway, you could see why Wilkes Booth was able to jump down. It's right there.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't get nervous at this point, but there's President Clinton right in the front row in this small theater when we're playing. I'm like, wow. And afterwards, I got so excited. I went running off stage. It's an old building. I went into the wrong room, and I went to the room, dude. There was like about 10 guys with necks this big. And they were just completely filled with ammunition and guns and whatever.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, hey, guys, I'm all hyper. What are you watching? You watching the show? How was I? They're just looking at me, no expression, except one guy kind of went. It's like smoke's coming out of the nose. They were like, it would be like running into a barn with bulls.
Yeah.
I found out later. I went, okay, see ya. I started backing up.
Yeah.
Those guys are the heaviest mofos. If they're deployed, they come out and shoot anybody and everybody but the president and the first lady. Everybody else, I don't care if you're a senator, you're dead.
Wow.
You come out. That means the president 100% is in danger.
Gotcha.
These guys practice how to kill every day, and they have to be able to shoot like the length of 2 or 3 football fields accurately.
Jesus.
Crazy shit. These guys are killing machines. Well, anyway, the next year I came back again, but this time it was with Fogarty. And at the end of the show, we're in a semicircle. All these artists and jugglers and magicians and ventriloquists. It's a variety show.
Yeah.
And the credits are going, and they come down. Now I know Bill, kind of, I shook his hand last year. And he comes by and he goes to David Copperfield. Then he comes back to us, and I'm hyper, and I go, hey, Mr. President, I was just in New York City recording, and I was in L.A. recording, and everybody wanted me to tell you. By the way, this is the peak of the Monica Lewinsky thing. Gotcha. So everybody wanted me to tell you they love you, they support you, they wanted me to hug you, but I won't do that, And, dude, this guy, big smile. He's the baddest, man. He shakes my hand, grabs my forearm, and he pulls me in close. Doesn't whisper in my ear, looks me right in the eye. Goes, man, they've been trying to get me out of office for 6 years. It ain't gonna happen, man. It was like I was waiting for him to go, and why don't you come over to the house and have some beers? We'll play some pool. Or
Yeah.
I mean, he was the coolest mofo on the planet.
That's awesome,
Charming.
bro.
Very charming.
Yeah, see, Archie and I, and you touched on it before when you said that, when you go to a session, whatever, and whatever band you're playing with, those guys may be nervous. We dig a cat like you because, listen, it's very easy to be in a band with your buddies and you're the coolest shit and it's your comfort zone, right? You are playing with not even people you may not know, or you meet for the first time in different genres and to me, we Archie and I who just love musicians, that's fucking badass, dude.
No, it's incredible. I mean, there was one crazy period. It was like a Monday. I was recording with Bonnie Raitt and B.B. King. B.B. turns around at one point. We're doing a Dr. John song for a movie, Air America. Must have been the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. Really funky. And B.B. goes, man, drummer, man, you feel good. You play great. I'm like, what? And so it took me a while to get over that. The next 2 days, I'm with Elton John. And then the next 4 days, Thursday through Sunday, or that's 5 days, I'm doing Bob Seger. Then that's in LA. Then I fly to Athens, Georgia, and I do a week with the Indigo Girls. Complete different world.
Oh, that's a different world. Oh, yeah.
On many levels. Then I fly back to LA. I do Willie Nelson for a day. Then I do 4 more days with Seeger, and then I do 2 weeks with Bon Jovi. Now, dude, whoa! If I got run over by a car, I'd be like, oh man, that's the greatest fucking month I ever had. You know, whatever it was. It's like, forget about it.
God.
I know. Isn't that ridiculous?
Is there any preparation to compartmentalize the different genres and different personalities you're playing with? Because those are all very different.
Yeah. You know what? It comes very natural for me. I grew up in a town, Western Mass, Stockbridge. There were a lot of famous people there. They'd come up from the summer, you know, from New York. They'd do theater, and it was dance. And I don't know, my parents were big entertainers, and I was used to meeting a lot of famous people and or people that were successful, and it just became kind of normal to me, you know?
Well, that's cool.
I mean, I do, you know, I'm not so normal that I'm still woo.
Yeah.
I'm standing next to Al Pacino. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that could tickle your fancy for a second.
Good God. Or Bill Clinton. I mean, you know, it just goes on. Or when I played in 2000, I did the Obama inauguration, which was heavy. But I did in 2000, was the millennial. It was with Clinton was the president. It was like whenever we were playing at the Lincoln Memorial, just like the Obama inauguration, looking at the Washington Monument. Frickin' freezing cold. But, I mean, you get on a bus and there's like Jack Nicholson and Laura Flynn Boyle, or Lara Flynn Boyle, and then you know, then all of a sudden Bono walks on, Mary Tyler Moore, then Scorsese walks on, then Anthony Hopkins, then De Niro walks on and sits right behind me. I mean, it's like,
where the fuck am I?
It's like, wow.
So when you are going from like a Bon Jovi to an Indigo Girls, right? Do you get to just say if you were with Bon Jovi and you were fucking playing pretty much pop rock, I would call that, and then you get to the Indigo Girls, your gears have to change. Like you have
absolutely.
to, you have to like sit back and be like, okay, you know, let me reel it in, and now I need to serve the song.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's exactly what. But you know what? I look at it like every artist, definitely every song is a different movie, and I'm the actor in the movie, and I ask myself, what's my role and how am I going to act? And I become a method actor. Now, with the Indigo Girls, you know, they're cool, but they weren't like as silly as, I don't know, Elton John was funny in a riot. These girls are a little more serious.
Yeah.
But, you know, I know how to fit in with people real well and just, you know, make it feel like I care about them. I care about you. What can I do for you? I mean, when I auditioned for Billy Corgan, I only played a jam twice. The audition was 35 minutes. Done. I mean, we played this jam. It wasn't even a song. And then he said, afterwards, I went, and this is what I think probably helped me get the gig. I went, well, is there anything else you'd want me to do that's different than that? Or what can I do to make it better? And he started grinning. I don't think he'd ever heard anybody say that to him. What can I do for you to make it better for you? Nice. And he smiled. He says, just do more of the same.
Yeah.
And I got the call the next day. Billy wants you in the band. You know? Yeah, I know, that was huge. Yeah, so I with the Indigo Girls, I definitely, obviously, you know, they're into girls, and so I was like I didn't come in and go, hey man, I got a 10-inch, you know.
Yeah.
Not at all. I mean, I was just like, say, man, I'm a big fan of your stuff. And, you know, I can play real light if you want. And, you know, what's your goal? What do you want me to do? Do you want this to rock? Or, you know, that kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
No, cool.
That way they feel comfortable.
I could probably devote this whole podcast, which I won't because I want to spare you and spare Archie. But like a couple of my favorite musicians in the world, like Billy Gibbons and like the Highwaymen, like the Highway. Archie knows me, and that's like you got to just tell me a little bit of how that was, because I don't know, that's like idol worship for me.
Well, Rocco, my theory is most people are not cool at all. And most people aren't authentic or real. Those people you just mentioned are super cool and super authentic.
Yeah.
They are the real deal, man. Oh, my God. Okay, for the Highwayman record, that was a situation where not talking was the smartest thing I could ever do.
Got it.
Because you got 4 of these guys, and they're like so quick and so clever. There's nothing I could say that would have any. It'd have to be very smart. You have to know
Gotcha.
exactly what to say. So I just shut my mouth on that one. And oh my God, the kind of bantering that went between them, a lot of sarcasm and a lot of like under your breath stuff. And it was so badass. It was so badass. And Billy Gibbons is the most approachable, nicest, coolest guy on the planet. Super badass musician.
Yeah.
But this is Billy. This is how cool he is. So I played with Jerry Lee Lewis, for last year and a half before the pandemic and before he got a stroke. To me, when I got the call to do that, I went, "Are you friggin' kidding me? There's only he's the last guy.
Yeah, one of the
Richard's dead, the last of the original guys." So anyway, he had his birthday in September last year. There was no way I wasn't going to do that. And I was scared about the pandemic and all that. So, but I took all the safety precautions and I flew down there to Memphis. And then on his birthday, we went to Mississippi. Well, guess we're gonna play in one of his little houses. And Jimmy Swaggart, his cousin, who's also 85, shows up. And Mickey Gilley, his other cousin, who's 85, shows up. 3 of these guys were there. I'm like, oh my God. And I got to play Amazing Grace with Jerry Falwell. It's Jerry, right? Yeah, Jerry Falwell. No, Jimmy Swaggart. Jerry Falwell's here. Jimmy Swaggart, I get to play Amazing Grace with him. I'm like,
Oh my
God, that guy's so authentic. Anyway, these guys were all really cool mofos. They're all 100%, and but anyway, they also showed on a TV monitor different people did their thing. Joe Walsh did a happy birthday to Jerry. President Clinton came on. Peyton Manning came on. Tanya Tucker came on. Keith Richards came on. Elton John came on, said, "I wouldn't be Elton John if it wasn't for you." And Billy Gibbons came on, and he played Great Balls of Fire on the piano.
That's great.
So when he got done, I called him up. I said, "Billy," oh no, maybe I texted him. That's what I texted him. I said, "Billy, that was amazing. I'm here in Mississippi, in Jerry Lee Lewis's house with Jimmy Swaggart and Mickey Gilley." In 5 seconds, he called me back going, "You with all 3? They haven't been together in 30 years." He knew. Billy knows everything that's cool. Billy's aware of.
Yeah.
And that was so cool of him to call me because he was like a little kid. "You got to get a picture with them. You got to get a picture." I said, "Oh man, I got to go. I think I got to play again." He said, "Oh no, you go." He was like a little kid. It was
freaking great.
He's so cool, man.
I'll tell you a quick story. ZZ Top had a residency in Vegas a couple years ago, maybe 2-3 years ago. Fortunate enough to go see it, and ran into Billy in like a food court. We're in the Venetian.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Billy," I'm so sorry to bother. I would like the guys were like my idol. I'm like, "I'm so sorry to bother you."
And he was cool.
I'm like, "Can we take a picture?" He's like, "Nah." He's like, "I'm gonna take the selfie." And like he grabbed my phone and like took the picture. so sweet and so nice. So yeah, that was definitely one of the high moments of my life for sure.
Yeah. Oh, he's so good. He's so cool.
Story after story.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I have this band called Supersonic Blues Machine with a buddy of mine, and Billy plays with us a lot. I went all over Europe for 2 weeks with him. Oh my God!
And where's the status of that band right now?
We just made another record. We're just trying to figure out what to do with it. I mean, it's done. It's cool. It's badass. This is our 3rd record. It's badass.
We're looking forward.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what, we got to wait for this pandemic thing to sort itself out. Because, I just did a gig, a private gig with Fogarty last Sunday down in Cabo, Mexico. And it was great. It's first gig I've done, period, in 13 months. And the last gig was with Fogarty. So,
Cabo.
But I'm busy. I'm in here all the time, 7 days a week. I just finished my audiobook, getting ready to give this speech on Sunday, film it on Saturday. I got this another book that Modern Drummers doing on me called a Legend series. So I had to edit 19 stories that go with 19 recordings. I got another drum book I'm doing. I got sessions Monday. I got bored. I got probably 20 songs I have to record. My head's spinning.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm a huge audiobook guy. Yeah, I do everything. I walk the dog, go to the gym.
Love this one.
I fucking
Because he doesn't know how to read, Kenny. That's what he's trying to tell you.
I can't wait till Sex, Drums, Rock and Roll. I saw the book come out. I'm like, all right, you want to know what? I want to read it. I just suck at reading. Period. I'm like, I need an audio book, and then I hear, and you fucking tweet out or something. Like I saw it on social media. You're like, I'm getting done. I'm like, yes.
Now they did it without me, which was wrong, and I said that's not acceptable. You can't do it without me. And they said,
they tried to record without you.
They did, and I went,
bullshit.
no. It's in my contract that if they do that, they got to ask me. It's stupid.
Oh, man.
I recorded it, and I'm waiting for them to get back to me to see if there's anything to fix. Oh, my God, that was like 5 weeks of work. That was insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Do we know a release? I'm sorry.
They haven't told. It'll be this year though.
Okay.
But I'm intense. I'm concerned that the last 6 chapters. I was put the pedal to the metal. I'm like just telling it how it is. I'm talking about if you read the book, man, it's like, oh, that's right, you don't read.
He got me. He got me from LA.
I just joking.
That's all good.
But anyway, I get intense, man. I crush lazy people, entitled people. I'm gonna probably be. I was thinking. I told my engineer I'm gonna be right with Dr. Seuss, but it could be worse. Dr. Seuss, what an honor.
Yeah, absolutely. With this book, I know it came out a little while ago, but this book, did you find anything about yourself? I know that when people start talking about old times, you start talking about different stories, old people. It starts, to rekindle some feelings. And did you find anything new about yourself with this book?
I felt pretty. When I wrote the book. Is that what you're talking about? When I wrote the book?
Yeah.
That was wow. I went through my whole life, and it was the tricky part. Yeah, I had to figure. Do I talk about my divorces? I had to, but I had to be very cool. I had to figure out that, and I got scammed, and that was an embarrassment. But I decided to put it in because the chapter of the book is basically the purpose of the book is to let it go and move on.
Gotcha.
And which I did, and. I thought if I was really going to be honest, you don't have to tell every detail, but I wanted people to know that, the people that are successful and stay successful, they're going to get into some car crashes. There's going to be some shit's going to happen. No, people who stay successful, they just adapt and make it work out. You just deal with it. So that's what I did, and so
good.
Yeah, so this book, definitely brought me back to mostly happy. I tend to be on the positive side of things. I just naturally like to be happy. Why not? It's a lot nicer than being unhappy.
Yeah, of course. Especially nowadays where you definitely need a little fucking happiness going around, man.
Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's crazy, man. It's unbelievable. But I say I got so much going on. I'm so busy, and thank God I had this studio because I come here every day of the week.
Mm-hmm. I want to jump to speaking. Now, where, I don't even know where to begin. Your energy, your motivation. I just want to go to one of these fucking seminars. I'm not even in a company. I want to go to one of these seminars.
I feel like I'm at one right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's scripted, but it's the one I typically talk about is it's because it works. My agent, I have an agent, and it's totally relates to my business, but it also relates to any business, and that's the teamwork, leadership skills. You're a team player when you're on a band.
Yeah.
And it also works because I talk about innovation, creativity, and I talked about adapting and adjusting to stay relevant. Oh my God, to stay relevant today, that's a challenge. And then I talk about the 3 C's, which I mentioned, and the biggest thing is when I talk about purpose, realizing your purpose in life, and that to me is the biggest thing of all. And that's like when I saw the Beatles at 10 years old. I knew I wanted to be in the Beatles. I asked my mom to call them up to get me in the Beatles. She didn't, obviously, but then 50 years later, get to be playing with them and hanging with them at that CBS special was deep, man. Because even they were like blown away that this was happening 50 years later, and for me, it was like, holy shit, dreams do come true. But I talk about how to become successful and stay successful in one of the most difficult businesses in the world. And I talk about these different attributes. And I play in these seminars. The playing is just an entertainment part. If I saw Magic Johnson, and if he walked on stage to give me a lecture, dude, I want to know about what it was like to go up against Larry Bird.
Yes.
I'm interested maybe in some of those corporations you have, but I want to know more about what it was like to be in the Lakers. So when I come out there, I've got motivational stuff to sell people, but they're going to want me to perform. They're going to want me to perform. That's Kenny friggin' Aronoff.
Yeah. So I know that you intertwine some of the the hit singles and show them that you have a drum set up, and you have almost like a PowerPoint going behind you that you can click from slide to slide. Yep. And what I'd like to know is that when you speak to a company that's totally like a tech company or non-musical, you know what I'm saying? How does your message translate? Do you have to adapt? Right? Do you have to adapt? Right? Do you have to? You know what I'm saying?
I have a meeting with the event planner and the company, and we have a Zoom, and we discuss what their theme is. They always have a theme at these conventions, and so I'll maybe I'll incorporate their ideas into my speech. I add it to what I'm already doing, and I'll do a little bit of work, and I'll make it work so that, so I'm using the words that they want. If it's called innovation, if they're talking, and if innovation's the main thing, then I make sure that that's one of the titles, and then. The amazing thing is that if you talk about some hardcore stuff, it's still and I don't care what business you're in, you still got people dealing with people. Yeah, people have to learn how to deal with people, and the Zoom thing makes it a little bit more difficult. But it's still, you have to have communication skills. You've got to connect with people. Yeah. So so even though it's the music business, I try to come up with examples. Like if I'm talking about teamwork, I might go, listen, when an airplane goes up in the sky in the airline business, it's not just the pilot that gets you up there. The air traffic control, it's the maintenance people, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. That's helping get the plane up in the air. That's get you to Europe or wherever you're going. So, and, in the restaurant business, it's not just the waiter that gets you food, it's the cook, and it's the person that, seats you, and just all kinds of people are there to make sure you have a great, you have a great experience, and it's all about teamwork. So I definitely come up with examples and try to pivot into their world.
Awesome.
I was telling Archie, I forget, this has maybe about a month ago or so, and I knew we were going to have you on. I'm like, we're super excited, and I'm driving, and maybe it was the Bruce Springsteen channel. I don't remember. It's on Sirius XM. Yeah. And you were like guest hosting, and I'm like,
I was guest hosting on that.
I'm like, Arch, forget about what an amazing musician this guy is. He could be a fucking, you could have been a personality on radio or on TV. And I'm like, I was so captivated by your stories but you kept it so interesting that because you're interesting about what you were talking about. And I'm like, you could have been a professional, DJ, something like that.
Cool. Yeah. Well, call up Sirius Radio and tell them.
I'm gonna.
Just say, Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the Kenny Aronoff station? You got the Springsteen and the Foo Fighters, and you got the Tom Petty, but he's played with all of them. Why don't you get one guy, and then you can play all of them?
Like, no fucking kidding. Like, if you had the Kenny Aronoff station, you would play around the clock.
Yeah.
Like, not that though. Like, I'm not even like fucking around. I think we're onto something here. Like,
no, seriously. Actually, Maria's the one that's talked to them already, and we've talked about getting a possible thing on Seriously. She thinks so too.
But let me tell you, Kenny, you were super entertaining. Super entertaining.
Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I know Rocco's in the car business, and once in a while I'll stop by his office, and he's always got like statements, motivational little lines. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're big into that.
Yeah.
But there was something that I wanted to print out for Rocco and say: repetition of any skill is the preparation for success.
RPS.
Love it.
RPS. I'm gonna fucking print it out and I'm gonna put it on it. I need to use it myself, but I think those are great words.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can apply it to anything: business, relationships, lifting weights, anything. Your repetition of anything will prepare you to be great. And once you realize that, then you'll also realize why you're not great.
Exactly.
And then you go like, you know what? Shut the fuck up, Kenny. If you want to be good at this shit, you got to put in the time. You got to put in the hours. You got to repeat these skills over and over again. And okay, so I just did this thing in Cabo with John Fogerty. And so John goes, man, you like, as if we haven't played in 13 months and you sound like we just played. I said, John, I practiced from 11 o'clock to 1 in the morning, the entire show, 3 nights in a row. There's no way I could have played this show that I've done 8 billion times without rehearsing. Yeah. Repetition is a preparation for success. I knew I could, because I didn't have to think about nothing. I knew everything.
That's phenomenal. Kenny, before we let you go, I have one last question. Oh my God, I got 1,400 questions, but I got one last question. We're gonna have you on again. I don't care.
Yeah.
Gotta have you again.
Absolutely.
My brother, big rock fan. He got me into a lot of the greats that you know. I'm talking with him the other day. I said, I'm gonna have possibly Kenny on. He's like, I fucking know. Yeah, Kenny, really? Ask him something. I go. I will. What do you want me to ask him? He goes, if there's a possibility of Geddy Lee and Alex were to recreate a band,
wow, do
you think it would be Stuart Copeland?
Oh, that's a cool.
Or do you think you would want to?
Oh yeah, somebody was trying to match me up with Geddy Lee.
Really?
Yeah, dude, that wouldn't be bad at all. Stuart Copeland with those two. Oh my God, that'd be phenomenal. I mean, doesn't mean they'd be doing Rush. They'd be doing whatever.
Something new. Yeah. Something new.
Oh man, that'd be phenomenal. Because Stuart's got such a unique style. He'd be phenomenal. That'd be great.
But yet Kenny will step right in and say, let's go. I'll serve the song, motherfucker.
Dude, there's no song. There's no. I always say yes, and then I figure out later if I can do it. Yep, I can do it. Yep. I just said yes to 5 things in one day at the same time. Oh well,
brother, man, I can't thank you enough. You can't see with the mic thing, but I've had a smile on this entire time, bro. On behalf of Rocco and myself, I thank you so much for your time, bro.
Awesome.
Where can people find you?
Well, my website, www.kennyaronoff.com, but Instagram is Kenny Aronoff. Twitter is Aronoff Official. Facebook is Kenny Aronoff. And I tapped out on adding friends like about 300 years ago. People say, can you add me? Well, no, I can't. And then, let's see, LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn also. It's Kenny Aronoff.
Yes.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Awesome. Nice hanging with you guys. Thank you.
Yo, we will do this again. Good luck. Stay safe. And have a great one, brother.
All right. Take care, guys.
We appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yep. See you. Bye.
That was phenomenal.
We could do literally like 10 more episodes with him. Like we didn't even like skim the surface of his stories, dude.
No.
What an interesting cat. Positive.
That was phenomenal.
Dude.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, this was for sure one of my favorites. Like what a good dude, and like he's played with the who's who.
And the who.
And the who's who and the who. Like and it was like the question pretty much that I asked him was like, listen, you know how it is, dude. If you were a solo artist, right? You get up there, all you have is yourself, right? We're in a band, like we count on each other, and it's like, all right, we're secure in our songs that we play. This guy's going from fucking genre to genre, to person, personality to personality, fucking genres that don't make sense to each other.
Yeah. Oh no.
And he goes in there, and he has, but you could just tell. Besides being, like I was saying, besides being an amazing musician, he has a personality to do that, right? He's not just like a robot where he's like, okay, I'm going to play a pop song. I'm going to play a rock song. I'm going to...
A man that could serve the song.
Yeah, dude.
How much fun was that?
It was so much fun. Honestly, you know what's fucked up? There's too many things to talk to him about.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's too many things. And that's what I'm saying is like, again, maybe being a dead horse. You're in a band, right? Let's say we're interviewing a band. Okay, we're talking about this, that, your first album, your fourth album, your fifth album, the band. Dude, this guy has played with everybody. And like not like fucking like Joe Schmo from Idaho, like the fucking top of the top.
Yeah.
It would take you years to even scratch the surface of like his stories and his experiences.
Pretty stoked about this documentary that they're going to have on him if that comes to fruition. That's pretty dope. I would definitely see that. I'm still in like a little awe of, like I said in the podcast, I went down his discography and I'm like, oh my God, you could talk 40 minutes on Mellencamp. You could talk. Yeah. You could. Dude. I want to know about the Pumpkins. I want to know about fucking Kennedy Honors. Like I had to know a little bit about that. Like it's crazy.
Dude, for me, I'm gonna say like fucking Mellencamp, Billy Gibbons, the Highwaymen. It's like, okay, I could spend a couple days picking this guy's brain and being a fanboy.
So if he said to you, "Hey man, what do you do?" I play drums. I played for Mellencamp for like 10 years, and then I quit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Right then and there. Like,
yeah. Okay, let's talk for 3 days.
Yeah, you played with Mellencamp for 10 years, or X amount of years, I don't even know. But do you know what I'm saying? Like that's a fucking sliver of his career.
But just think, but like anyone out there, go to fucking his website, go to Wikipedia, go to whatever, see who he's played with, right? But just think how amazing you have to be for all these people to want you on their record, right? It's not like he's yeah, he was okay, dude. He's played with a fucking who's who, and he's so down to earth, and he's so like, yeah. Stuart Copeland would do a great job with that.
Yeah,
you're being modest because it's more of a rock band, and you would do better, pal.
So with that being said, Rocco, what do you have to say to the people?
If you just heard us talk to our boy Kenny, you live above exit 120 on the GSP and go DTS because you're a Benny. You spent your last penny on a fifth of Henny, and when it comes to bullshit you don't take any, then you just listen to Not These Two Fucking Guys podcast.
We out.
Dummy on a gummy.
Dummy on a gummy.
It's 10 o'clock, but all right, fuck it.
I gotta go to bed.